Hi.
Well, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, can't complain. Is this a taser? Wouldn't touch it if it were.
I'm really curious, especially being an Israeli, to know what you thought about the Gal Gadot character and her embodiment Wonder Woman. If there anything that you took from her performance or want to take from her performance to your voice acting?
No, I think it's, I've been doing Wonder Woman now for a few years, which has been really amazing. And I think the folks who have been writing this character and promoting this character have, in many ways, like a lot of the different iterations that have come forth from a lot of our iconic heroes, have been really trying to explore how to modernize these stories so they can continue to be as compelling as they have been for generations. And I think that's really beautiful. I mean, I got to work with Frank Miller, who is very responsible for that, and taking The Dark Knight and taking Batman from Go-Go Gadget Belt Batman to someone a little bit more serious and exploring the psychological makeup of someone who does what he does. And I think even in this story with Bloodlines, we're going back to the origin story of Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor coming into Themyscira and her leaving and going to America and being confronted with this new culture. But we're also exploring in the sense where there's a lot of female characters, it's very female-centered, and really seeing the conflicts that arise just from, even with the best intentions, Wonder Woman's mere presence. And just like really grappling with the nuance and complexities of being someone who's an ambassador and a dignitary and wants to put out that olive branch, but is also very willing to come out with that sword and fight. And it's an unusual kind of perspective in hero comics, and one that I'm grateful has been around for a long time and continues to be something that a lot of us actors get to. Not so many of us actors actually, you know what I mean? Like, it's still a pretty small group, but you know, a few of us get the honor and privilege of being able to explore her, and it's cool doing it in this generation.
Yeah, but still, like, just like, you know, because I know you're famous. You know, you're a professional actress also on screen. So
Yeah.
what did you think? What did you thought about her performance? Like, she was a kind of groundbreaking, right?
Yeah, what was amazing about it was that we've had the chance to bring her back into a forefront, and Gal was so incredible at it that it broke a bunch of records and continued to push for even more storytelling in that vein. And we've since had a lot of different characters that we've continued to explore that women have been able to embody. But I also still really feel like that's been pushing in a lot of different spaces, and I'll never put down. I mean, it was like, I remember when I first started voicing Wonder Woman, and people were like, oh, it's fantastic, finally we're getting a Latina Wonder Woman. I'm like, Linda Carter is Latina. You know, like, I grew up with her, and I thought that was super awesome. It's a different iteration of her, but it was very inspiring nonetheless, and it meant a lot to my grandmother and my mom and myself when I was a kid. And to now be able to see that we can change what her outfit looks like, and we can change a bit more of what the perspective of which was showing her. But it's an evolution of the times, and it's, you know, and I think Gal really represented that well, and I'm hoping that this film does as well.
Wonder Woman's such an iconic character.
Yeah.
What's the best part about playing her?
For me, because I'm not doing the physicality of it so much, except when I'm in a booth by myself, like with a fake sword. It's all the whoops and hollers and, as they call them, efforts that I get to do, and the distinctions in her voice of, you know, what it sounds like to be smashed by a mythical creature, or, you know, to be, you know, winded from, you know, battle in the skies, to the difference between a struggle grunt when she's fighting and another one when she's actually in pain and hurt. You know, it's the kind of stuff I grew up watching, a lot of awesome cartoons and animated films, and the power of the voice and a pause or you know, tremble in your voice and what that can convey. It's just incredible, and it's great to be a part of that, because you know, I try often to do that with the look when I'm on camera. When you don't have that resource, how do you convey it? It's an awesome and really fun challenge.
How do you feel about the progression of your character?
Wonderful. I mean, I think it's a character that'll continue to have new iterations. You know, you know, I imagine Wonder Woman 25 years from now and how different that Wonder Woman will be. And like, you know, she's a character that continues to exist in our modern world. So we can continue to adapt her because she's not going to just like age and die like the rest of us. She's going to stick around, you know, like Captain America and, you know, different kinds of characters like that. So, or so you hope. But then, you know, but it's just fun. I think, you know, I got to voice Lego Batgirl, and we got to poke fun at Batman. You know, we've gotten so far that we've come back around to just being like, dude, you got so much money, why are you fighting petty crime in a batsuit? Like, go and pay for some stuff, you know? And so it's great that we continue to get to go back and revisit why we've loved these stories intergenerationally, but also continue to push them to be interesting for us in the future and adapt them to a new world. And I think that's a beautiful thing for us to have to do, of, you know, not taking anything for granted and recognizing that even an iconic character can be adapted and evolve and grow. And, you know, when you have, you know, people will criticize like big tentpole movies and, you know, that maybe they're just entertaining, but look at all the community that's brought from it. This transcends age, it transcends, you know, the gender spectrum, it transcends culture, it transcends borderlines, it's intergenerational. My grandmother loved Wonder Woman, like it keeps going. And when we have a touchstone like that to go back to and revisit and challenge ourselves, like, no, well, what would you do in that situation, and what it inspires you, I think is a really powerful tool.
Happening out here.